Hello everyone, this is my second video in my Scaling JJK series. These videos are based off the assumption that you have watched the previous videos, so if you don't understand a lot of the things discussed here, then either you gotta bear with me or watch the videos in this series. Today I'm going to scale Yuki Tsukumo, and don't trip my fellas. This time this video would be polished and refined, so no infinite rambling, I'll just get straight to the point, and with that said let's get started. I'm going to start off with her AP and DC. With Yuki being special grade, she should easily outplay special grade ones and lower. This would include both sorcerers and curses, making her easily small building to city block and multi-city block casually, as she is very likely to be stronger than the disaster curses who can output city block to multi-city block levels out power casually, and this was performed by Hanami, who's objectively the weakest out of the four. Is most likely stronger than Jogo, who can create a mountain in his domain expansion calced at large mountain and output town to city levels worth of energy, who is considered to be the strongest out of the disaster's curses. She would objectively be stronger than Dagon and Mahito by extension. With Dagon having the power in his DE to create an island and a star. She should theoretically fight on par with a 8 to 9 finger Sukuna, scaling from Jogo, and probably higher. With Yuki being a special grade sorcerer, she should be superior to Cursed Spirit on the equivocal side as well, as stated by Kenjaku, with special grade sorcerers being able to overthrow a country or nation depending on the translation, same diff it doesn't matter, which should make her small country to large country level. By Maki is stated to be on par with Yuta Okatsu, with Yuta being second to only Satoru Gojo, and it being stated that Yuta Okatsu is somewhat the second Gojo. She was able to fight on par with Choso, or I guess Choso was able to fight on par with her against Kenjaku, but unfortunately lost simply because he was smarter. In terms of DC, there isn't much from her. Her only true DC feat that matters is her being able to create a black hole with her CT that effectively would have swallowed the world. This feat was calced at large planetary consistently, but could also be calced at dwarf star level. Some say she doesn't even scale to her BH. I have a few arguments why she might, but I won't explain them just yet until I finished with her strength categories, which I'll be getting to right now. For her physical strength, I'm going to include both lifting and striking just to make this category a bit more precise and I guess longer. For her striking strength, it should be comparable to her overall AP, leaving her at around city block to city. However, since apparently city level is actually a believed highball for the verse, she should sit comfortably on town level striking strength. Her strength gets higher with Star Rage, as she was able to shatter both of Kenjaku's arms and punched him so hard he broke through the barrier they were fighting in. She should upscale many if not all but two of the characters during the Shibuya incident arc in base alone, and this gets more apparent with Star Rage, going up from small city to city level, possibly city plus. This could be far higher and could go up to mountain level and to island level, since she physically and jujutsu-wise outscales Dagon, which if you have seen my Maki and Toji video could be star level. Her strength can possibly go up to celestial levels of force, since her technique affects her only up to a certain point, but this is never demonstrated and is purely theoretical. Her lifting strength is presumably greater if not equal to Yuji's and greater than Jiro Awasaka's, who both have class M feats and at their lowest would be class 5 to class 10. It would also be possible, depending how you interpret Gojo's strength, it could be class G, and depending how you interpret Kenjaku's anti-gravity technique, she could have class P strength, but like again this is miscellaneous. Does Yuki scale to her black hole? Yes, even though it is a suicide-esque technique, she did still created the black hole using her own technique, and she was even alive through the partial creation of the black hole. Now you may argue that she was only alive for partial creation. However, it is directly stated that there is no limit to how much mass she can add to something. Someone implies the creation of an infinite amount of mass, meaning she scales possibly even vastly higher. Calcs support that the black hole is anywhere from planetary to dwarf star level. Another common belief is that she used a binding vow to enact the black hole. While this can be the case with heavy implications, I must remind everyone that heavy implications or implications at all doesn't equal truth or factuality, and stated above there is no limit to how much mass Yuki can add. So most likely if she did make a binding vow, it probably just increased the speed which she adds mass or abundance to how much she adds. And last but not least for this one, it is basic cause and effect. She caused the black hole to form. She did it with her own cursed technique and her own cursed energy. Is Yuki's black hole an outlier? No, there are many celestial feats, statements and descriptions in JJK. For example, Sukuna's body part can destroy the world. In the manga, Gojo's DE is an implied other/separate universe, and only in the manga and in the JJK Season 2 opening can you see stars in his domain. Dagon's domain has a sun in it. Gojo's lapse blue and reversal red is stated to be two infinites colliding to make his signature hollow purple. Gojo's birth shifted the world, specifically the world of Jujutsu, which is on a metaphysical level, the possibility of domains even though having a finite outer distance but could be infinite from inner space. Jogo's meteors, which depending how you interpret it could have directly come from outer space. Gojo's domain sending infinite information in your brain. And I could be wrong, but the introduction/implementation of Japanese mythology. Time for her speed. For her attack speed she should be at least subsonic plus probably supersonic comfortably, with her being most likely hypersonic. Likely far higher and possibly up to subrelativistic to relativistic. For her combat speed she is at least subsonic plus likely higher. Even while weakened she was able to keep up with Kenjaku. Most likely between supersonic to hypersonic she could be placed generously at massively hypersonic. Her reaction speed is superior to anyone below grade 1, so this should place her at subsonic plus, but is likely superior to Rom-I, who could dodge Choso's supersonic piercing blood. At least hypersonic to hypersonic plus, scales to Kenjaku in speed, who dodges piercing blood from a close distance. Could go most likely far higher to massively hypersonic, as she would be superior to Nanami, who dodged Mahito. She could possibly go up even higher, however. And lastly, for her travel speed she should upscale Three-Finger Sukuna, 15% power, who blitzed Megumi, supersonic plus, high hypersonic. However, hypersonic is more consistent, Calc 1, 2 and 3. She scales over Naoya, while in worm form can complete a speed feat on Kumo, being able to blitz him from a vast distance. Possibly even far higher, with it being subrelativistic, as she is arguably faster than Toji with these calcs. Time for her durability. At the very least small town level, however, she could scale to city level, most likely city plus to large city. Very possibly to be far higher all the way up to mountain to island level. Narratively and logically speaking, her durability should be equal to her AP/striking strength, so possibly planetary to large planetary. However, this is very miscellaneous since it only doesn't affect her to a certain density. It is never shown in the series, and she is never shown to use Star Rage for her durability, and since mass use to this density will most likely end up as a black hole, killing Yuki instead. Now time for her stamina and endurance. Her stamina and endurance would scale to superhuman or high, since as a special grade sorcerer Yuki should have more stamina than post-Shibuya incident Yuji. She proves her physical toughness and pain tolerance when dealing with severe injuries from womb perfusion. Despite a serious head injury and shattered arm, she maintains herself, activates her innate technique, and engages Kenjaku in hand-to-hand combat. With her indomitable human spirit, Yuki battles alongside Choso, even attempting a last-ditch effort by transforming into a black hole to take down Kenjaku, which doesn't kill even moments after she had transformed. She would also be able to use RCT. For intelligence she would scale to above average or gifted. Yuki is an enigmatic and exceptionally powerful fighter, one of only 4 special grade sorcerers, with unorthodox abilities that Jujutsu headquarters knows little about. Despite her secretive nature, Yuki possesses elite combat instincts and proficiency in Jujutsu, including barrier techniques and domain expansion. She also excels at mentoring students, as evidenced by her role in introducing and guiding Aoi to become an exceptional grade 1 sorcerer. Despite not officially being a teacher at Jujutsu High, Yuki's influence on fostering elite talent is undeniable. She also researched souls, and her goal was to rid the world of cursed spirits. She traveled around the world searching for ways to achieve that. Yuki demonstrates exceptional combat analysis skills, meticulously observing her opponent's techniques and devising countermeasures on the fly. She can identify cursed spirits from foreign origins with just a glance, showcasing her deep understanding of Jujutsu. Yuki rapidly grasps the mechanics of complex jujitsu techniques, such as Kenjaku's manipulation of gravity, including its range and activation intervals, with minimal exposure. She collaborates with others, like Tengen, to formulate intricate plans to confront powerful adversaries like Kenjaku, demonstrating strategic foresight and adaptability. And that's about it for Yuki Tsukumo. Overall, she would scale between city plus to mountain level at a low ball and would scale to large planetary to dwarf star with supersonic to massively hypersonic speed, and that's about it. So ye.